Okay, hello everybody. Happy whatever day it is that you're taking this lovely little yoga sesh. Yeah, we're just going to enjoy today. We're going to have a nice little stretch out, going to feel into the hips a bit. We're actually going to start off doing a bit of a yang to yin sort of session. So basically doing a little bit of a faster pace to begin with, not too fast, still chill, and then taking it right down and just chilling out more at the end, holding some postures for a little bit longer. But yeah, at any time, take a break, use a strap, use a block, use a cushion, have a sip of water, just listen to your bodies and we'll enjoy. So feel free to start your music whenever you are ready. I'm just going to do the same here, and then I can be joining you with that. And let me just reposition this camera. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so to start with today, we're beginning in a child's pose. So we're going to bring our knees to about mat width apart. It doesn't matter if that's not quite comfy, just take them a little bit closer together, or maybe if you want to take it further, go further apart. Sitting back onto your heels, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just start to send your hands forwards, reach the fingertips away, let your chest slowly come down towards the mat. Again, it doesn't matter if it doesn't quite reach there. And we're staying here for a couple of minutes. So do get comfy. If you feel like it's not going to work for a couple of minutes, then feel free to kind of wiggle your way around. There's no right or wrong with this, as always. Absolutely can just listen to your bodies, do whatever you need to do. And just using these first few moments in this child's pose to just feel into the body. So maybe you're still, maybe you're rocking left and right. We're just going to notice where the tension is. So have you particularly got any places where you're like, oh, that feels tense today? And if you have, then just keep that place in mind as we go through our stretches, postures, poses. If you haven't and everything feels good, then wonderful. Maybe you can take things a little bit deeper today. Breathing slow, start to really tune into your inhale, lowering all of that air down towards the lower part of the belly. And as you exhale, maybe you can move a bit further into your child's pose. That might mean your hands start to shift slightly further forwards. Maybe it means your chest can sink lower towards the mat. Breathing slow. And trying to maintain length down the spine, so drawing your hips back towards those heels. Settling down. Got another minute or so here. Just take those slow breaths in and out. So as we take those slow breaths out, we can start to tap into our parasympathetic nervous system, that side of our nervous system that helps us to be a little bit calmer, bring a bit more focus. And that's all we want for the next 45 minutes, just to try and stay with that deep breath. Slowly coming up now from our child's pose. So drawing our hands back towards us, lifting onto our knees, lifting up those hips. And then knees coming underneath those hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. We're going to start by just putting a bit of weight through each wrist and stretching out through the forearms. So fingertips facing either side of your mat. And we're just going to rock left and right. Tiny little movement, getting used to a bit of weight through each hand. Hello, Abby. I think it's just joined. Wonderful. So just rocking gently side to side. And that might be enough if you've got particularly tight forearms or wrists, perhaps if you were typing all week like me, or maybe you want to turn those hands back to face you. So fingertips drawing towards your knees and then changing that sway or rock. So you're coming forwards and backwards. So again, still working into those forearms. We just want to work onto our wrists, warm them up a bit before we come on to our vinyasas, which we're going to do in a moment. And slowly turning those hands back round, press them into the mat. And then into our downward facing dog. So tucking your toes behind you, start to lift up those hips, coming up to the top in your downward dog. Good, drawing your hips as high as you can. Awesome. So our down dog, we can keep it moving, keep it mobile, rock left and right. Maybe you want to stay static, stretch those calves one by one. I always need a calf stretch when I'm in this posture. Always, always, always. Just take your time. The aim of our down dog is really to lengthen through the spine, lift our hips as high as possible. So it doesn't matter if our knees are bent or straight. We're trying to roll the shoulders back and take our hips up. Awesome. Okay. So we will start to take a little bit of heat through the body now. Slowly start to bring yourself forward, moving into a high plank, shoulders stacking above the wrists and heels pressing back behind you. From here, just lower down those knees, let your toes untuck and bring the chest all the way down to the mat. Rolling your shoulders, opening up into a cobra. So chest off the ground, open at the front. And then pressing those hands back into the mat. Tuck the toes, bringing your hips back to your heels and lifting up into your down dog. Okay, we'll do that a couple more times. So making your way forwards into a high plank. Knees start to lower down, toes untuck, chest onto the mat. Roll the shoulders, open the chest at the front, and then pressing away, lifting yourself high into our down dog. Good, this time seeing if we can synchronize our breathing with it. So on your next breath in, rolling forwards. Exhale, knees lower, chest down to the mat. Inhale as you open the front of the body. Exhale as you press everything back and up, downward dog. Okay, two more together. Breathing in as we roll forwards. Breathing out as you lower down. Nice, inhale to lift up. Exhale, bring everything back, downward dog. So hopefully starting to warm up a little bit. Last one here, breathing, come forwards. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, roll the shoulders, broaden your collarbones. And we exhale, press everything up and back. Good, from our down dog now, starting to walk your feet forwards. Nice and slow, little steps. Feet up to meet the hands. And then fingertips onto your shins. Take a breath in, roll the shoulders. Exhale, fold forwards. Let this upper body just hang heavy over those legs. Doesn't matter where the fingertips are. Next breath in, rolling all the way up to standing. Lifting your arms to the top. Exhale, bring your hands down to your chest. Good. We're going to repeat that again. So with those vinyasas as well. So inhale, lift those arms back up. Exhale, come down. Fingertips lifting up to your shins on your next breath in. Breathing out, fold forwards. Exhale, stepping the feet back into a high plank. Then we breathe in. We lower down. Feel free to take a chaturanga if you wish, or taking those knees down, depending on how much energy you have today. Rolling the shoulders, lift through the chest. You exhale, come back to our downward dog. Good. Okay, we're going to do 2 more of those. So that full breakdown of that sequence. So starting to walk your feet forwards again. All the way up to the top. Let's take that halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale down. Inhale as we roll through the spine. Lifting the arms up to the top. Exhale, bring your hands together, draw them down to the chest. Inhale, sweep those arms back up. Exhale, fold forwards, hinge at the hips, lead with the chest. Breathe in, lift up halfway. Breathe out, let everything lower down. Stepping back into our high plank. Inhale when you get there. Exhale, either knees lower or through your chaturanga. So that's just halfway to elbow height. So it's like slightly stronger variation. And then rolling forward into an up dog. Good. And lift everything back to the top. Exhale as you get there. Starting to walk those feet forwards again. Last round. All the way to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly lifting up, uncurling the slight bend through the knees. Reaching the arms up to the top. Exhale, hands together down towards your chest. Nice, last round, going back. Breathe in, lift the arms up. Exhale, sweeping down. Inhale, lift halfway. As we breathe out, folding forwards, let this upper body draw down. Slowly stepping back when you're ready. Breathing in when you get to the top of that high plank. Exhale as you lower either knees first or your chaturanga to elbow height. Rolling forwards, up dog or cobra. Nice. Exhale as you send the hips back to the top. Downward dog. Okay, good. Hopefully you've got a little bit more warmth, a little bit of heat through the body. From here, sending your right leg up. Just going to pause here for that lovely stretch through the back of this left leg. I know it's a strong one through those arms. Take a deep breath. Slowly start to bring your right leg forwards, popping it just outside the right hand. And feel free to wiggle it further forwards if you need to kind of take a few extra steps. Let's lower down that left knee, toes untuck. Breathing in as you lift the chest, coming onto our fingertips. Exhale as we start to fold forwards. So from here, just let that upper body come down. Maybe you're staying on your hands. If you have a little block or a cushion, you can always just bring your forearms onto that. Or you can bring your forearms straight onto the mat, depending on how much space you have. Good stuff, nice. Okay, slowly breathing here. So as you breathe in, just see if you can get a little bit more space. As you breathe out, maybe you're drawing your hips further forwards, working onto that left side particularly. Nice, start to lift your way back up. So hands on the mat now. Left hand is going to anchor down underneath your left shoulder. And your right hand is going to press the inside of this right thigh. And we're just gently going to draw that right leg out to the side. So slight bit of pressure, opening it up. And then release. Bring the right hand back down, tucking your left toes, stepping all the way back to our high plank. Option here to take another vinyasa as we did before, or we can wave the body straight back into our down dog. Totally depends how you're feeling. Do whatever you need to do. Once we are in that downward dog, we are sticking with this same routine on the other side, same sequence. So lifting your left leg up, reach it away, pause at the top, feel that stretch down towards the right heel. Keep breathing slow. Gently bringing your leg forwards, pressing that left foot down to the mat, outside the hands. Right knee lowers down, untuck your toes. Inhale as you lift up, open the chest. Exhale as you fold. And feel free to rock or sway here if that feels good on the legs. That might feel a little bit nicer for you. rather than staying still. Sometimes it's a better option. Going down to wherever you did last time, maybe used a block or a cushion, maybe just on your forearms, maybe you stayed exactly as you are. That is perfect. Good. Start to lift your way back onto those hands if you're not there at the moment. Our right hand now staying underneath that shoulder. Left hand pressing into the outside, to the inside of the thigh, easing that leg away. Just open up a little bit more space through those hips. Good, deep breath. And release, come back to the front, hands down, tucking our right toes, step back to high plank. This time, everyone straight up into our downward dog. Maybe giving your knees, your ankles, your wrists a little shake side to side. And then we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. But before we do, we're just going to take our feet out so they're about mat width apart, toes pointing out to the sides. And then slowly walking your hands all the way back. As you get there, start to bend through the knees, sink down into a squat. Good. From here, taking your hands off the mat if it's possible to do so. If not, if that's just not going to work today with your balance, keep those fingertips down. But wherever we are, we want to really think about lengthening through the back. So drawing the crown of the head high. If your hands are off the mat, feel free to join them together. Press the elbows into the insides of the thighs. Again, take a nice long deep breath. Good. We're going to walk our hands back out to the top, back into our downward dog. Walk those hands forwards, bring the feet a little bit closer together. And then into our high plank again. So again, taking our vinyasa, rolling down. Maybe that was knees first, maybe your chaturanga to elbow height. Inhale as you roll forwards, lift the chest. Exhale as you bring everything back into our down dog. Again, starting to walk your feet forward. Breathe in, lift halfway. Breathe out, fold flat, fold down. Inhale as you roll up to standing, lifting the chest, lifting your arms. Exhale, hands down to the chest. Good, and then from here, switching up a little bit. So we're going to move into a high lunge. We're going to start with this right leg forward. So keeping your right foot as it is, bringing your arms up all the way to the top. Start to step back with your left leg. So with control, stepping back. Good. So this front knee is stacked straight over the ankle. And we're just going to hold here. Take a deep breath, see if you can lift a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, see if you can lower down. Good. 3 more breaths, this time straightening through that right leg. So lifting as high as we can on those tiptoes at the back. Exhale as we lower, sinking further down each time. 2 more, breathe in, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Good, breathe in, lift up. And exhale, lower down, lower down. Pause here. Slowly turning now into a warrior 2. We're planting our back heel onto the mat, opening up those hips, open the chest, reaching your arms at either end of the body. Good. Gaze is over our right hand, so we're looking forwards and we're sending our fingertips together. Together? Away. I can't get my words out today, apologies. Sink a little bit lower down. Same thing with those inhales and lifts. So we're going to straighten again through the right leg, lift your arms all the way to the top, big breath in. Big breath out to lower down. Good, 2 more, breathe in to lift up. And exhale, bring it down. Last one, I know, building that heat, bring it up, breathe in. Exhale, lower. Good, popping that back heel up now, lifting back into our high lunge. And then starting to lean your way forwards over this right thigh. So more weight through this right leg. Slowly stepping that left foot forwards. Feel free to wobble as much as you need. Breathe in, lift your arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down towards the chest. Good, this time holding here In a mountain pose, just reach the arms down, root down through the feet, lift the chest. Good, breathe. Nice, okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So you guys stay at the top of your mat, I'm just changing direction. Inhale, lift your arms up. As you exhale, your weight is staying in your left foot, your right foot stepping back now into that high lunge, reaching the right heel away, lift through the chest, opening up the front of the body, stretching into our hips. Again, can we sink a little bit lower? Good, okay, those lifts and lowers, inhale, lift up, straighten through this left knee. Exhale, bring it down. 2 more, breathe in to lift up. Exhale, bring it down. Might hear some clicks in my legs now. Last one, breathe it in. And lower down. Slowly turning into that warrior 2 again. We're planting the right heel, opening up our hips, opening the chest, reaching the arms. Good, gaze over that right and left hand even. Sinking a little bit lower if you can. If that's not possible, stay as you are. And then breathe in, reach the arms tall, straighten through your left knee. Exhale, lower back down into your warrior 2. Good. Okay, 2 more, breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, lower. Last one, breathe in to lift. And breathe out. Moving back into our high lunge from here. So we're turning the front of the body to face the front, lifting up our right heel, lift through the arms. And then again, leaning forward. So weight through this left leg. You might feel into some wobbles. With control, we're stepping the right foot off the mat to bring it all the way to the top. Arms reach high, breathe in. This time sweeping straight away to come down. Exhale, fold forwards. Maybe hold on to your ankles, your shins. Let this upper body draw down in front. Breathe in, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. One more of those big breaths in. Exhale, let this upper body draw down. Maybe you want to draw using your first 2 fingers, wrapping them around your big toes. We can just give ourselves that extra bit of connection here. As you inhale, still lifting up through the chest. But as you exhale, using that connection, drawing yourself further down. Maybe you have a little strap or something you might want to wrap around your feet. Go for it, feel free. And then releasing your hands, small bend through those knees. Again, rolling our way steadily up to standing. Lifting your way to the top, roll the shoulders. Good, okay, let's just wiggle out through those wrists. Coming into a little bit of balancing. So of course, when we're running, we are mostly on one leg at different points. So we do need to practice that balancing, that stability all the way down the leg. And we're going to start today in a chair and then move through a few different options. So stay with it. If you need to come out and jump back in anytime, please feel free to do so. Bringing your feet either so they're hip distance apart, or maybe so they're together. If you've done a chair before, you might have a preference. If you haven't, don't worry, just pick one today, pick another one next time. That is a-okay. We're going to just sink our bottoms down. So I'll come to this side to show you. Bend through the knees, lift up through the chest, arms reaching high. So feeling the weight through the heels, extending down the spine, breathe slow, squeezing your thighs together. From here, start to put more weight through your left foot, lifting your right leg off the mat, and then moving into a warrior 3. So start to straighten through this left leg slightly, send the chest forwards and send this right foot back. So moving into a T shape. Hold, breathe, feel the mini earthquakes. And then start to make your way up to standing. Keep this right foot off the mat. We're going to draw this right knee in, hands around the shin. Hug it in close to you for the stretch across the glutes. From here, start to stack your right ankle onto your left thigh. Again, bring those arms up. And again, start to lower down into our chair. You might feel that you need to lean slightly further forwards here. We're trying to go, of course, we're balancing, but we're still trying to get a stretch into those glutes on the right side. Breathe. Solid through that standing leg, working into the ankle. And release. Let it all come out. Hands, feet, wiggle, shake, unravel. Good, we'll go for the other side when you are ready. So again, moving first into our chair. We are bringing our arms up, sinking our bottoms low, squeeze through the thighs. So we said yang to yin, we're building that heat, and then we're going to stretch it all out in a moment. Weight in your heels, chest lift, big smile on our faces. Start to transition some weight into your right foot. Lifting your left foot off the ground, straightening a little bit more through that right leg now. And we're leaning forwards, stretching your left heel back. Really pressing away into that left foot. Working on this balance, breathe. Good, slowly start to lift your way up. All the way to standing control, up to the top. Hands interlace in front of your left shin. Draw it in towards you, nice big squeeze. Still breathing deep down to the belly. Stacking your ankle across this right thigh now, arms back to the top. Lowering our bottoms down again, stretch into those glutes as we balance on this right foot. Notice that breathing, bring all your focus back. You have got this. Nice, start to bring everything back up, come to standing. Shake it out, give yourself a wiggle. When you're ready, interlace your hands behind you, big roll of your shoulders, lift chest. Exhale as you fold forwards, sinking your chest down, let the arms maybe come up and over, maybe they're just an inch off the back. Wherever you feel comfortable, feeling a stretch across the chest. Breathing steady. Gently release, hands coming down towards the mat. Moving once more back into our squat. So we're opening out those feet towards the edges of the mat, toes pointing towards the sides. Fingertips staying on the ground in front. Start to bend through your knees. Bottom sinking down. Again, feel free to keep your hands as they are, or if you wish, taking them off the ground, elbows to the insides of the legs. Good. So really lifting up through the chest, drawing towards the crown of the head, as if we've got one long line from the tailbone up to the top. Good. Breathe. Nice, okay. Starting to settle down now. Bring your hands to the front, walk them around to the side. Feet on the mat, bottoms down. We are going to stay on the ground, starting out with a lovely hip stretch. And I said we're going to do a bit of a yin finish today to the class. That just means we're going to hold the postures for a little bit longer. I will let you know how we are going and then. So we're going to keep our left leg, forwards to start with. And your right leg is going to come in towards you. Your heel as close as you can get it to that bottom. If that is uncomfy, if maybe you've had slight ankle issues in the past, feel free to kind of wiggle it out slightly, but see how you go. Bringing your hands behind you. Just start to make your way down, beginning maybe on your forearms. Now that might already be enough for some of us. Our hips are super, super tight and we stay here and that is all good. For others of us, we maybe want to bring the shoulder blades down towards the mat, and we're still stretching into the front of this right hip. Taking it further still, only if that is accessible for you today, you can start to bend your left leg, hands around your left thigh or your front of your left shin, drawing this knee in towards you. That's going to increase the stretch, but absolutely go with wherever you need to be today. So 3 different options. You can stay on your hands if you want, so 4 different options. Staying here on this side for about 2 minutes. So find a position that you can breathe with. And we're just going to focus on that stretch. See if you can release on the exhale. Really use your breath in, breath out. Wonderful. Okay, we're about halfway through. Try and soften through your shoulders, your jaw. This is an easy one to build up tension in the upper body. Just let it go. Breathe. Bring back your focus. Okay, slowly starting to come out of this. So whichever variation you're in, beginning to unravel the same way we came into it. So starting by bringing your arms underneath you, lifting up your way to seated. Just release that right leg, bring both knees in towards you. Let's just come into a bit of a counter posture. Hug those legs in, wrap your arms around the shins, tuck your chin. Just draw yourself nice and close. Okay, we'll start to go over to the other side now. Letting go of the legs, right leg coming out long. Your left heel this time as close as you can to the bottom. Again, feel free to wiggle that foot where it's most comfy. There's no right and wrong here as long as you're feeling a stretch in those hips when we come back. Start to walk your hands behind you. Hopefully we can match that same position we were in before. So maybe that was forearms, maybe you came down onto your shoulders, maybe even drew the knee in, the opposite knee. Again, staying here for about 2 minutes. So breathing slow. Maybe you can deepen as you breathe. Maybe you stay exactly as you are, but you're just enjoying that bit of focus time, finding that stretch. Okay, you're halfway through. Breathe slow. Release the tension in the upper body if it's there. Release the tension in the opposite leg if it's there. Okay, slowly making our way out. Same as before, lifting up, same way that we came into this posture, bringing yourself up to seated nice and gently. Stay slow. Unravel that left leg, bring the right knee in, give yourself a hug. Just curling up tightly. And then from here, we're going to move on to our fronts. So just bringing your legs around in whichever way is easiest for you. And bringing yourself to lie onto your tummies. And we're still working a bit onto those hips, but we're also going to bring a bit of an arm stretch or a shoulder stretch, I should say, into this one. And we're going to start by bringing your right knee up to the side. It's a bit of a half frog, this one, if you've done a frog posture before. So your right knee is coming up to the side, so stretching into the inside of this right thigh. And then just press into those hands slightly and lift your chest up. You're going to thread your right arm underneath the left, and then take your left one and cross it in front of the right. So it feels a bit funky. I promise we've got this. Start to draw yourself forward. So we're leaning over the arms. And again, holding here for a couple minutes. If you do need to ease off, please, please do. Try and stick with it. Just close the eyes, let yourself settle down. Could be quite a deep stretch across the arms. Stay with it. About another 30 seconds here. Seeing if you can draw yourself down, maybe melting further into the mat, even with those arms in front of us. When you're ready, take this one slow as you make your way out. Always feel a little bit creaky as you come out of that one with the arms. Bringing your arms back down in front of you, let that right leg draw in and just let your head draw down towards the mat. Arms can be out to the sides or just underneath you. Maybe you want to rest on a cheek or your forehead. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll go to the other side. So just turning around so you can see, taking your left leg out to the side, trying to bring your knee up so it's almost in line with the hip. If that isn't quite comfy, feel free to bring it back. Might feel a bit different one side to another as well. Hands pressing down to lift the chest slightly. Left arm this time going underneath the right, and then the right arm crossing in front. And again, we're just leaning over the arms. So you might feel like you need to press yourself slightly further forwards. Be mindful, obviously, we have boobs, we need to be careful, we don't want to hurt ourselves. So don't sit in pain. Just putting a bit of pressure to open up those shoulders while we're stretching the hips. Another 30 seconds or so here. You might start to feel your back open up as well across those shoulder blades. Again, just breathe to it. Maybe you've got some tingling in one arm. Feel free to wiggle if it's uncomfortable. And then let's start to make our way out. So bringing your right arm over, unravel this left arm, let the left leg go back out behind you. This time, just bringing your hands in front, maybe resting your forehead on those hands. Let yourself be still for a moment. And starting to lift yourself up. So shoulders, or sorry, hands underneath your shoulders. Pressing yourself back, almost through that child's pose that we had at the beginning, but our knees are close together. And then lifting our way up onto our knees and our shins. Give your shoulders a bit of a roll back. Taking your hands to one side, let the legs come out all the way in front of you. Our final stretch now. Now we have options here. You can either take a forward fold and just bring those legs together. Or if you want to work into your hips a little bit more, especially on the inside of your thigh, you can bring your legs wider. Maybe that's mat width, maybe that's mat length, I guess, the right word. I'm going to take it a bit wider today because I think that's what I need, but that's what you need to do as well. Listen to your body, think about what you might want to do. If that's legs straight forward, be my guest, stay there. Just going to take a deep breath, lift up, roll the shoulders down the spine, and then start to make your way forwards. Now, depending on which option you've taken with the legs, you might be coming further forwards or not so far. Wherever you need to be, wherever your body is kind of holding you, just stay there. We've got 2 minutes. We might move further, we might stay as we are. We might start to feel a bit of a release through the lower back. So go with it. Try and maintain some length down the spine rather than just curling up through those shoulders. Breathe slow down to the tummy, just like we were doing before. And we're about halfway. Refocus if your mind started to drift. When you are ready, let's start to come up back to seated, slowly uncurling the upper body all the way to the top. If your legs were slightly further apart, bring them back in. And then again, just drawing your knees up. Wrapping your arms around those shins. Give yourself a nice big hug. From here, starting to lower down onto our backs, bringing your hands behind you. Just let your shoulders gently reach the mat. Legs can stay bent, or maybe you want to stretch them out in front of you. Maybe you even want to take them into a bit of a diamond shape, so soles of your feet together, knees dropping out to each side of the mat. And same with the hands, take them wherever you wish. If that's down by your sides, maybe it's on the tummy. Close your eyes here. Starting to wiggle fingers and toes. Roll through wrists and ankles. Let your head maybe rock side to side. Taking your arms back behind you, finding a full body stretch. Reach those fingertips, reach the toes. And then bringing your knees in one more time. Wrap your arms around those shins, curling up into a little ball, drawing your forehead up towards the knees. Slowly bringing ourselves from here up to seated, eyes still closed. Seated however you wish, whether that is cross legs, maybe you're kneeling, maybe your legs are out in front. Just let your hands fall into the lap, maybe onto your knees or maybe down by your sides. I'm going to finish up today with 3 breaths all together, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 8 through the nose. So when you're ready, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in for 4, 3, 2, 1, big breath out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last one, 4, 3, 2, 1, out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, slowly let that breath come back to its normal breathing rhythm. Give your shoulders a roll. Give yourself a big well done. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Hope you are feeling good after that. Your hips hopefully have a little bit of a release. Hope you're feeling calm, ready for whatever you've got to do next. If you do have any questions, feel free to message me. You know where I am on the chat. And yeah, see you all very soon.